Howdy! Welcome to another episode of Rangeland TV. My name is Bree, and today we will be investigating the feral horse population here in the West. Feral horse populations have been an increasing issue in the West since the mid-1900s. Ranchers and landowners attempted to manage this population by destroying the animals to the best of their ability. To halt the destruction of this population, Congress passed the Wild Free Roaming Horse and Burro Act in 1971. This legislation led to the rapid increase of feral horses in the West, destroyed rangelands, and proved to be a threat to native species and cattle ranchers. In order to thoroughly investigate this issue, we have a special guest here that agreed to provide first-hand insight. Mr. Darrell Dodd is a third-generation cattle rancher here in Nevada and has continued the legacy of producing beautiful black Angus cattle. Good morning, Darrell. Thank you for being with us today.
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
As a third-generation rancher in the Midwest, how have feral horse populations impacted you?
Well, many people are unaware of the fact that local producers have the opportunity to graze their cattle on public grazing lands. Personally, I rely on this opportunity to reduce the financial burden of purchasing extra feed and concentrates for my herd. Unfortunately, the feral horse population doubles about every 4 years, so the public land is overpopulated and overgrazed. When horses graze, they also decrease the quality of the forage because they rip it right out of the ground. So by the time my cattle come through afterwards, the grazing there is very low quality forage with limited availability.
Are there any solutions that you see making an impact in the management of feral horses?
I'm glad that you asked. There's actually a group of Aggies working with the Bureau of Land Management to implement a more efficient strategy to reduce the population of horses on public lands. They plan to relocate these feral horses to private lands through an adoption program with local ranchers and landowners. This ensures that the horses are provided for, the spirit of the West is preserved, and the forage on public lands is reserved for my beef cattle.
What is your favorite part about this incentive program for relocation?
Personally, my favorite part is that the forage is the best quality that I've seen in my entire life ranching and even going back generations. So my cattle are really getting that good quality forage and they're selling for way higher prices at market.
Do you know anybody who's implementing this right now?
Yes, I'm glad that you asked. My neighbor, Don, is actually a part of this program. He has about 500 acres and no prior ag exemption or any cattle herds or anything grazing on that land. So he used this program and he got about 20 or so feral horses designated to him, and then he gets subsidized for keeping those horses on his property and stipend for additional costs.
Thank you, Darrell, for being with us here today.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a pleasure.